Hey there you guys, what's up? This is Viltrox's Pro 56mm f1.2, now officially available on Nikon Z mount. And it is awesome. So here it is. You get this guy in the box, along with a warranty card, along with this really nice lens pouch. Really appreciate that. I am super excited to be hands-on with this lens and bring you guys this review because I'm actually very familiar with the f1.2 Pro series already. I've owned the 27 full frame 40mm f1.2 Pro for the Sony E-mount, and this Viltrox Pro Line series lenses are officially setting the bar for APS-C. Thank you to Viltrox for sending this out to me so I could get it in the studio for review. Let's talk about it. First and foremost, the cost of this bad boy is $580 USD, and full frame equivalent, we're looking at about 85mm. So it is a portrait monster, a total beast. Going from top to bottom, we have a high quality tulip style hood, lens cap, 67mm threading, customizable function button, AF/MF switch, got the Pro logo, and it also does have a declickable aperture ring, something that we're really only used to seeing on typically much higher end lenses. So having this on a $500 to $600 lens, you'll love to have it. Now, as far as the aperture ring turns, as you can see, you can go from A to automatic all the way down to 16, stop it all the way down to f1.2, turn the click off, and you have smooth motion of it. It's dampened very well, turns smoothly, evenly. Same goes for the focusing ring. Viltrox does an excellent job at damping their focus rings. It's the same high quality metal material that is featured on the lens barrel or chassis. So we're looking at an all around metal lens build design. Coming over to the bottom, like I said, is Z mount, so you turn it the other way, and then you have a large, generous red weather sealing gasket. Awesome. I consider this a must-have, considering this, in my opinion, is a truly professional level lens. You can create professional level photographs with this thing that a working photographer would be happy with, provided you have the skill to do it. But with that being said, this is exactly the type of lens that you're going to want to take into the field, and it's good to know that it's got weather sealing, so you don't need to worry about keeping it out of the rain or moisture or anything like that. So that's a big plus for me. Type-C plug-in port behind the gasket, so you can plug it in and do firmware updates. Let's go ahead and throw this guy on to my body. Okay, so we're currently rocking it on the Z50 Mark II. This is what it looks like on the body. There it is with the lens hood on it. Feels great, looks great, performs great. Now, one thing that I do want to say is if you have one of these Pro Line lenses already, or if you don't know, if you're not careful when you're using it, this aperture ring will totally cheese grade your fingers. So if you're not careful with it, and if it keeps rubbing back and forth, it will definitely, without a doubt, rub it raw. So that's something to be aware of. And that's mainly because, again, it's a metal aperture ring. In the future, I think I would like to see rubber, but apples to oranges, right? Now, this lens does use a voice coil motor system, so it's very quick, very fast, and pretty much silent. So the autofocusing system overall works fantastically. Another thing that I want to mention is comparatively to other 80mm lenses, this guy actually has quite a close focusing distance. Minimum focus is coming in at about 50 centimeters, so you have plenty of working distance. Also, it helps even more utilizing that f1.2 large aperture to separate your subject from the background even more. You'll see what I mean later in the video when I show you guys an edited sample gallery of photos that were all taken with this lens. So stay at the end of the video, make sure that you don't miss that. Overall, the lens itself is coming in at about 560 grams, so it's a solid boy. From what I've observed in the photos that I've been taking with it, it does have a level of vignetting to it. It's there, but it's not too bad. And as always, if it bugs you, you can easily take it away in post. In terms of focus breathing, I found this lens has little to none. None that I could see. It probably does have some, but I didn't see it. This is another excellent attention to detail, which makes this lens worthy of the Pro moniker. It's extremely well-rounded with no significant shortcomings. Speaking of the few shortcomings, well, no, I shouldn't even really say that. There is some chromatic aberration, especially at f1.2. Once you stop past like f.2 on, it cleans up. And it's not super bad, it's a little bit more than what I was expecting. It's just a tiny bit more prominent than what I expected. There is some light distortion, but overall it's very well controlled. There's nothing too crazy going on. Now the coatings for the flaring is also really good as expected. I'm used to a strong showing from Viltrox in that aspect. Also, what does show up, I tend to like the way that it looks. One thing I did want to make sure that I mention is even though the step distance on the aperture ring is decent, there's not as much separation as what you would typically see on other lenses. To be clear, it's not really like a complaint. It seems more of like a preference thing. It's easier to turn even when it's clicked. But one thing that I was running into is I would want the separation from f16 to automatic mode to be a little more tight or a little bit more push to push it over. It just swings from automatic to f16 a little bit too easily in my opinion. So a lot of the time if I'm shooting it in automatic mode, I'll bump it or slide it over, and then all of a sudden I'm shooting in f16. So nobody likes that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and check out some of the photos that were taken with this lens. Let's do it.